Welcome to another episode of EchoCraft. In the last episode, we built this shop. I've discovered an unexpected cash cow, and that is golden carrots. I literally stocked this yesterday, and look at how many diamonds I've already made. Yeah, that's a lot of diamonds. So I definitely need to get this restocked ASAP. So we'll see if the second batch goes as quickly as the first batch did. One thing we definitely need to do now that we have discovered the cash cow that is golden carrots is making sure that our carrot farmer is as productive as possible. That means that whenever I'm at my base, I want this farm to be loaded so I can get my carrots. And currently there's a bit too much distance between my farms down here and my hole-in-the-wall hut over there. So what needs to happen really soon is to move my storage from this little island down somewhere into the ocean down here. Whenever I'm hanging out in my storage system, I want my iron farm and the guardian farm and my other farms to be loaded. And as a part of that, I also want to sort out this mess. Several of these chests have slowly been running out of space, and so now I have things like a wool chest that also has leather and ender pearls in it, and as of yesterday, it also has a scoot in it. I want to make sure that I have more storage capacity and storage that's more sorted than what I have right now. In my ideal world, I'd get rid of all of my reasons for coming to this location, but there's some things that I'm probably not moving right now, which is couple flowers around here, another wart, my zero-tick sugarcane farm, which I haven't used since the day I built it, so actually in retrospect, I'm not sure why I thought it was so urgent. Oh, I guess I used it for my enchanting setup. My AFK fish farm is not moving, my enchanting setup might move. What else have we got going on? Oh, I got some pandas off camera. Stay tuned for the most adorable post-credits scene ever at the end of this video. I'm breeding up some chickens because I really want a chicken head, and so far I have not had any luck getting them out in the wild. Some mushroom for safekeeping, and some cows and sheep, so all of these animals and the cocoa beans might not move today. Oh, and I haven't showed you my newest prized possessions that are right here. Look at these foxes. They're so adorable. But while I was getting these snow foxes, something happened that explains why I have this in my inventory. Let's watch that clip. So here I am, just minding my own business, grabbing a super adorable baby fox and walking towards the portal, making sure the baby fox goes through the portal. And at this point, I'm just worried that the fox might be running off by itself. And I got hit! What the heck? Ah! Fox is defending me! Hello, Cairo, what did you do? This is why you keep dogs on a leash, and I'm laughing so hard at this point, and throwing berries to get the stuff out of the fox's mouth. And picking it up. And this is where I realize that I've been tagged. And I finally put two and two together and figured out that Cairo was hiding in this nook, waiting for me after he asked me what I was up to on the server. Good job, Fox, for attacking him for that. Along with the tag, I was given a book. And it reads, "You are it." Yeah, really, no surprises there. Welcome to the viewer-suggested game of tag. You can tag someone by punching them while you are it. If this is your first time being it, please read on. Rules. Number 1. When you tag someone, you must give them this book. If you lose it, you must replace it. That makes sense? Number 2. You may not tag anyone in the same episode that you are deemed to be it. That seems similar to Hermitcraft rules. Is there number 3? There's totally no number 3. Number 4. You must keep the tag in your inventory at all times. You lose it, you replace it. Number 5. You cannot tag the same person that tagged you. I think Hermitcraft Season 6 had that same rule too. Number 6. You must add a twist to the game before you tag someone new. Twists. The following is a comprehensive list of all twists that are live with this game of tag. Do not sign. Since I'm the first person who got tagged, there are no twists, and I will likely be inventing a twist right before I tag someone in the next episode. Because since I got tagged in this episode, I can't tag anybody right now. One of my drowned has died. Initially, I thought it glitched out or something. When Mayu and I thought about it some more today, we came to the conclusion that this drowned was probably killed by an iron golem that fell down, like right here. If the iron golem falls in the right spot and is facing the drowned, it can totally whack him and kill him. So Mayu helped me come up with this concept of drowned protection. So my plan for right now is going to be to just protect all the drowned with a wall like this that ideally looks a bit nicer than what we have right here. The stone is well outside of the color palette for this farm. Hopefully that means they won't get killed by the iron golems anymore. Like, the main reason I can't move the cauldrons in by one is that then they'd be too far away from the villager pods, because there's a 4-block gap between this glass platform and the nearest bed. The villagers won't get scared if I move this cauldron in by 1 block. Let's hope that this patch works. Houston, we've got a problem. Some of the villager pods in the iron farm have lost all of their villagers. And I don't understand how. Like, 3 of the pods have lost it. There's one down here that still has its pod. There we go. There's 1 pod that's still intact. And the others are all gone. And I don't understand how. This means that my iron farm is pretty much broken and I almost fell into lava. I was wondering why it wasn't producing iron, and I decided to check it out. And initially I was only looking at whether or not more of my drowned have died. But no, the drowned are still around. It's just the villagers that are missing this time around, and I don't understand why. How is losing 3 out of 4 pods possible? Like, lightning could explain one of them, maybe, but not 3 out of 4. What the heck? I haven't even been AFKing or hanging out of here all that much. What the heck? I have a couple different theories for why the villagers disappeared. Lagging pointed out that all of the pods are on a chunk boundary, which might cause issues. My gut tells me that that's not what the problem is, or at least my gut is telling me if that is the problem, then my entire iron farm is screwed. So I'm just going to pretend that that's not what the problem is. The main theory I'm running with right now is that because I built my iron farm in the middle of an ocean, it's more likely to be hit by lightning. So right now, all you can see is a tiny bit of island over there and the little exit that I made for my villager breeder area. So that's all the land there is around here. Yeah, depending on how lightning mechanics work, I could totally envision a scenario where the lightning has very little choice but to strike my villager pods. So I'm hoping that theory is correct, because that's one of the things I can actually fix around here. So my plan is to build a roof by extending my AFK platform a bit for right now. So I want to make sure that these villager pods down here are absolutely protected from lightning. So I'll go out here a couple blocks beyond the edge of the actual villager pods. 4 blocks beyond where the villagers are standing should probably be fine. After a little bit of building, I noticed that the outer edge of this glass pretty much cleanly lines up with the glass down here at the base of the iron farm. So I figured up here, instead of turning this shape into a giant square, I would just follow the same outline that I have down here and create the same shape up in the sky. Well, this platform is all done now, so the next thing I need to do is rebuild my epic delivery tower for the villagers and start repopulating. Okay, it's drowned grabbing time. So you're gonna be called I'm Scarier. Yep, there we go. Yes! Oh, that was the easiest one so far. Awesome. Let's turn this on and give you a push. Oh, push. Yes, there we go. There we go. So something else I know for sure now is that it's okay to put in the trapdoors right away. You don't have to put them in after the drown is here. So the next stop is filling this pod. How are these 2 villagers sleeping in the same bed? It's like super weird. I'm definitely glad that all of the villager pods are filled with villagers again. So hopefully the iron farm will be back at full production next morning as soon as these villagers have a chance to get some work done. I'm gonna leave all of these rails here just in case something goes wrong with the iron farm again and I need to tweak it some more. Yeah, because building these tiny arms is super quick, but building up the entire tower and everything, and that takes a while. This view is super, super interesting. Can you guess where I'm at and what I'm doing? Maybe? Ooh. Is this a hint? Probably not, because I've never shown this on camera before. What else might be a hint as to where I'm at? Maybe that. I'm trying to extend this glass pipe downward, and it's a really awkward thing to do in the middle of a fog effect. I can kind of do it, but it feels really weird. And in case you haven't guessed it already, this is the future Guardian drop chute once we've converted the Guardian farm into something that looks closer to Iskall 85's version of a Guardian farm. Now we're below the fog effect with all the sea lanterns at the bottom and some beacons. These beacons might move in the future. I just needed to set them up somewhere, and this seemed like a good idea at the time. So let's head up and take a look at what the fog effect looks like from above. And here's the grand reveal. Now, as you look at this, you have to imagine that the ceiling is gone, and somewhere above here, there's a Guardian farm. And the Guardians will be falling down a tube that you can see from here, through the middle of all of these nether portals, down this tube, and down to wherever they end up getting killed. Yeah, this is going to be cool. I haven't cleaned up the edges yet because I assume this fog effect is going to get a lot bigger. I assume I'm going to be clearing out more of these corners, and I'm going to turn this into a bigger space. For another point of view, in the long run, this entire storage area will be moved all the way down there, and the Guardian farm will probably be somewhere around where I'm standing right now, and the Guardians will be falling down this tube, straight to their death. Tragedy has struck my iron farm again. So I've once again lost 1, 2, and I think 3 villager pods. And I've lost one of the drowned again. And I'm not sure what to do. What's really weird too is that, like, once again, I lost the one drowned that has the remaining villager pod. And I lost the drowned first, and then I lost all the villager pods. I don't know if I lost the villager pods one by one or if they all disappeared at roughly the same time, because I discovered them all at the same time, so it's a really big bummer. But I am super glad that I left my rails intact, because repopulating the iron farm will hopefully be not too big of a pain. We've got another drowned to replace the one we lost, so now let's send him up. There we go. Let's hope this goes okay. No! No! Ah! I made a mental note to myself like a long time ago that I should double check. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, I need to get away. I now have a name tag drowned that's just sitting over there, and I think I need to kill it. There we go. I need to go find another name tag and another minecart and stuff. And we've got yet another drowned. It took me forever to get this one. There you go. I hope you make it this time. That's looking a lot better. Oh, and Iron Golem, which is less ideal, but whatever. So the first thing I want to do is plop a slab on his head, because I've decided to switch over to slabs. And I changed up the window here a little bit. The experiment here is that I'm wondering if having a slab above his head is actually better than a trapdoor. I don't know if that's it. This sandstone block here used to be a sea lantern. Maybe the villagers are glitching through a non-solid block. I don't know if that's even possible, but I figured I'd use that advice. And then the second piece of advice I got was that they're supposed to be standing on a trapdoor, and it's the trapdoor that's supposed to be waterlogged. So I'm gonna give that a try, and I'm hoping that solves the issue. I kind of doubt it will, but I'm gonna do this experiment for science. And if that does not fix the issue, then I imagine I'll start beefing up their little pod here and make it a bit more secure than what it's doing right now. So what I'm going to try is to change the little peeky hole window over here to something that looks more like what we have on the other side, which I hope we can see here. Yeah. So I want to change it to something that looks more like the slab work here going on. After all of those iron issues, I decided to head back down and to make some progress on a Guardian farm and iron sorting system. So now I have the beginnings of it. The actual sorting part of the sorting system isn't implemented yet, but I've figured out what I want the basic room to look like. And there's chests for cod and all of the other drops that I'm getting out of this thing. One of the things I've learned from crafting up sea lanterns is that you can easily spend a lot of time running around trying to get the stuff in your inventory, find a crafting bench, use the crafting bench, and then run to some other chest where you're storing stuff. So I'm trying to cut down on the crafting time by putting chests close to each other, and then I can just stand here next to a crafting bench and just kind of fill my inventory, craft stuff up, and then just pick one of these shulker boxes, drop things in here, and then underneath these shulker boxes, there's a row of hoppers, as you can see down here. And basically what I can do is just drop my crafted items into one of these shulker boxes, and they should go all the way down here. And at the end, they'll end up in this chest, which this chest will ultimately not be here. Eventually, this will turn into a dispenser that just shoots all the crafted items into a water stream. And that'll go straight into some sort of other sorting system, but I don't have that system in place yet. One of the other things I'm concerned about is that I'm building this a bit too high. Because ultimately, once I've converted the Guardian farm up here into something that's closer to Iskall 85's design, these Guardians will be falling down this glass tube, and then they'll be falling onto a block that should insta-kill them. And I need to make sure that these Guardians can fall far enough that they get insta-killed. And the sorting system will add another couple blocks in height. It's going to be interesting to see if I actually have to use a water elevator to lift the Guardians up a bit before I drop them. It's definitely solvable stuff, it just might hurt the efficiency of the farm in the long run. I feel like I've barely started with this thing, and it's already looking absolutely ridiculous, but I have many, many more hoppers to go. And these droppers are here to help with lag. They're not actually going to end up dropping anything, ever. And I'm leaving myself some signs, so I will remember why this one hopper is facing in this direction. So I installed a composter here, and the only reason why some of these rows of hoppers exist is to accommodate this one composter. When flowers end up getting sorted into here, they'll end up getting dropped down into this composter and get turned into bone meal. But eventually this might get backed up, and then this guy will just shove it over into this column, and this is another poppy column. So when you end up looking at the chests, you can see the composter is feeding into this column. And then if you move one over, which is what that one hopper is doing, you end up in the poppy chest. So I won't be collecting any poppies until I have a massive backlog of bone meal. But that's fine, because my flower farm is producing a whole bunch of poppies anyway. I don't think I'll be hurting for poppies anytime soon. Another feature that I've installed is a line of trash hoppers. It's really hard to show at this point. Let me see if I can find an angle that works. So once a column of chests is full up to and including this hopper, this overflow hopper makes sure that the overflow goes into a trash line. That way, even if one of the set of chests is completely full, I can still continue collecting items in the other chests, which is nice. Something that's annoying with my storage all the way up there right now is that I have to continuously empty the chests if I don't want to lose items like iron. So if they're completely full, I won't be collecting more iron. But down here, once I start filtering things properly, I don't have to worry about losing rare drops just because more frequent drops have clogged up the entire system. If this works right, I should not have anything clog up the system. I'll just have, hopefully, eventually, completely full chests of all the things. So, yay. Now the fun part has arrived. I need to add the final piece, which is the actual sorting stuff. Woo. And I'm going to save the implementation of the actual trash for later because I want to make sure that this works before I do trash stuff. I'm actually replacing these droppers, the bottom row here, with furnaces over here because I noticed that the sorter will end up causing a whole bunch of clicking if these are observers, so I'm going to use furnaces instead. A bit unfortunate, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I just came to the realization that I built some of this wrong. I was chugging along, making progress. I labeled the filters up here just for my own sanity, and then I was starting to put the fuses in here. Where is it? Filter fuse. I was starting to put these in there, and then I noticed they're disappearing. They're ending up in here. And then I remembered that I made the same mistake in creative recently. The hopper that's being used for filtering, that hopper should not be pointing down. And now I have the follow-up problem that I have dispensers here, so I don't want the hopper pointing in this direction either. So really what I need to do is make all the hoppers point forward. It's fixed now. They're all pointing forward. I'm really glad I decided to finish up this set of filters before I decided to build any more of them. This way I can actually test if this one works and if there's a major problem. Hopefully I have to spend a lot less time fixing the other ones. So let's make another attempt at putting these filter fuses in. Yes, they're staying. Awesome. And you need a raw cod. You need some shards. And in the bone meal one, I'm actually going to put a poppy because that's what's going to turn into bone meal. For testing purposes, I'm just going to chuck a stack or two of each item into this chest. And we'll see what happens. Bone meal should actually be treated as just random stuff that doesn't get filtered. And then there's some sea lanterns and some cod. Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. But in theory, yes, this should be filling up. And in theory, this should be active now. Uh-oh. This isn't good. I ran some quick experiments in a creative world, and it turns out that these sea lanterns are the problem. Maybe I'm missing something here, but I don't understand why these sea lanterns are an issue. As far as I can tell, it doesn't matter whether or not this block is powered. Like, all that matters is that the signal ends up down here, and then the repeater just shoves it into this block, which then turns off this redstone torch. That's my understanding of how this works, and I don't understand what's going wrong here, but since I now know that these sea lanterns are the culprit, I'll just switch them out. Now that I've swapped out the sea lanterns, these slots are actually emptying themselves. Yes, so they're all at 41. That's a lot better. This one's at 5 because I don't have a whole lot of ink sacs. So let's see if anything ended up in the trash. Nope. That's good to see. So how well did we do down here? Fish, awesome. This is empty, that's good, because I would only expect this to fill up once this entire column is full. Awesome, this looks good, looks good, looks good. This should probably be empty, awesome. This is empty because I don't have 41 items in the filter. And then here's my random items, and this is empty. Awesome, so it's working. And now I get to repeat this 3 more times. Woo! I finished all 4. And I created a little path over here. Or, well, path is the wrong word, but the drop chute is ending in these hoppers. And they should feed into the filtration systems. The ceiling looks a little bit cleaner now, although I might add an accent color up here in the middle just to add some more detail in the future. Or I might leave it, I'm not sure yet. The next thing I need to do is to get rid of all of this, or at least get rid of the storage up here, and add another set of droppers that just poop all the items down a bit. So I've torn out the storage up here, and I've plugged this hole for the time being. I'll unplug this pretty soon, but I've already fallen down this tube once, so I don't want to repeat that exercise. I'm rearranging the hoppers here, so the ones in this corner are all ultimately pointing into this hopper, and then the rest of it is just going to point straight down for a little bit. So I have my 4 droppers in place, and I'm unclogging the hole and then getting myself out of here. And now I need to make sure that these droppers keep dispensing stuff as it comes in. And I think that's that done. It clicks away every now and then and drops some stuff. And I've turned this staircase into possibly the ugliest staircase in existence, but I'll only keep it until I convert this entire guardian farm into something that resembles Iscal85's design. I have a lot of fish just stored up here, so I'm just loading it into the system up here in a way that the sorting system can handle, hopefully. So that should help jumpstart the amount of stuff I have stored. Whee! Woo! The fish is arriving down here, yay! Lucid dropped off 2 shulker boxes full of wither roses that he got from Mayu, and the idea is that I should turn these into dark prismarine. I don't mind handing out free resources for a community build. So what I think I should do now is go AFK and see how well this works out. So here I am, AFK, looking down at my wonderful iron farm. And we've got some iron golem spawns, and they drop into the lava, where they burn up, and get pooped out, and fall into the guardian farm, where the guardians are getting burned up by campfires, and their drops drop through this other pooper. Normally it wouldn't drop quite this much. Those extra fish are just from these chests. And then all of these drops drop all the way down this tube. Where do they end up? In these hoppers that then feed into the sorting system. And that ends up in this storage. So hopefully this entire system makes sense now. I'm embarking on a new villager adventure. So I'm trying to get a whole bunch of villagers into this little pit here so I can trade with them. Once they become fishermen, I should be able to trade fish with them, which would be an amazing deal. So right now I have this really wonky rail system going on. And I assume the first villager or two are going to be a casualty, especially as they come down here. And once you get to the very top of the ladder, a whole bunch of rail shenanigans continue, and I should probably get rid of this block. Villager number 1. The adventure begins. Okay, you're stuck here, and there we go. And I'm gonna run after you because if you have problems, this is gonna be a huge mess. You have a profession that I don't want you to have. No! There we go. Clearly, this did not work out. Like, really? What the heck? Apparently, he just wandered in there by himself. You, sir, need to do that too. Okay. So this guy's not going anywhere. No, I just need to push him in. Pop. In there. In there. Yes! I finally have all 8 of them in there. I'm really glad I went to bed last night instead of trying to figure this out while I was super frustrated. Things were not going well when I went to bed last night. Yeah, my frustration level was increasing by the second, so I'm glad I took a break. And fixing this the next morning, super easy. Especially since I decided to build some fencing, and the one guy just decided to wander in there for no reason other than apparently he just wanted to. So now I have a whole bunch of master fishermen that I can trade cod with, and I don't care about the discounts all that much because I have way too much fish anyway, so I didn't bother with trying to get them zombified. I did go AFK last night, so I have... Oh, there's actually not that much fish, interestingly. I do have a fair number of crystals, I believe. It goes into the back a little bit. The shards actually piled all the way up into here. Okay, iron-wise, it just filled this. Bone meal, not that much. And I'm not surprised that there's no ink sacs in here. I'm assuming the filter is still trying to get 41 ink sacs accumulated, and it's not quite there yet. But I am concerned that the iron farm might be broken again because I would have expected more iron than this. It looks like we lost that one drowned that we trapped better, and nothing else. The rest seems fine. So we are missing one drowned up there, which is unfortunate, and I'm not sure how to keep the drowned in there without losing it. DC was suggesting that I might just have to use zombies and not drowned, which is really sad to me. It's also kind of a weird coincidence that I lost the same drowned again. Like, this was the same drowned I lost last time. I'm gonna see if I lose any more drowned, and if not, yeah, I really don't know how to fix this. I think my final order of business today will be to craft up a whole bunch of dark prismarine and get that delivered to Lucid's stronghold project. I've delivered the dark prismarine to the stronghold build. As you can see, the portal's right down there. And it's going to be cool to see what this build ends up looking like. The only thing I know is that it'll involve quartz and dark prismarine and maybe some other building materials. So, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Unfortunately, we didn't move our entire storage system, but we did make some progress towards making our storage situation a bit better. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, please click subscribe too. In the description, I've actually listed all the other members of the EchoCraft server. So if you're interested in the Stronghold build, I'd suggest you check out some of the other EchoCraft members' channels. Until next time, goodbye. This is just hilarious. We've bred some pandas and Mayu's pushing one of them up the stairs. It's the ultimate lazy baby. It's just like, wee! This looks so awesome. Oh, come on. I don't know if the baby's glitching out or if it's... Oh no. Here we go. Come on. It's just a really happy baby, I guess. It's like, la la la, squee! You know, you can just imagine it making those sounds, except, you know, in game it's not actually making those sounds. Uh-oh, this chest is gonna make life difficult. Oh, she wants it in the nether. Okay.